the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anybody for community forum? All right, conflict of interest? We do have an addition to the agenda. We're going to add 9.5 as co-advisor. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda with the correction? Motion by Jamie, do I have a second?
I second.
Second by Terry. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Communication and discussion items. Amy?
I just had, and we'll make a motion down below to approve the audit report, but then I sent you guys a letter today too, that the legislative audit has approved it too, so just wanna let you know that was all done. Nothing too, few write-ups, but that's small school and you get that every year. Don't have big enough office staff to. You can.
Sounds good. High school, middle school principal.
Sorry for the lengthy report, but some of it, I'm not gonna read all of it, but it is long there. First off, congrats, esports team had a successful season. They are headed off to state, so Miss A, congratulations to her and her team. They go this weekend, Friday and Saturday, to Aberdeen. It is online, right? And we can watch it, we'll get that link out, but congrats to Jevin Zerfus and Jackson and Jaden Eggleston and Connor Beals for qualifying for state there, so that's really awesome in our second year, and hopefully I was told, the boys told me they're gonna really try for that state championship to bring that home, so. February, attendance and reliability was our student of the month, sponsored by the student council, and that went to Eastland Burton, Peyton Barton, Lars Tweet, and Sawyer Nelson. And One Act Play, they performed a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, at JDC and did real well. It's a tough region to be in, but we did have some award recipients there in Jack Kleinsoxer, Kendall Utek, Caleb Richmond, Ethan Ruick, and Connor Beals. And honorable mention was Sawyer Nelson and Clay Carey. If you didn't get a chance to see it in person, it was quite funny, and they did a great job with it, so it was nice to see. Their best performance was the one that they performed last here, because they had to postpone that one due to the weather, but it was really good. They did a good job. February is CTE month, so I'm going to get some stuff out on the web, but I just want to thank our CTE teachers for the opportunities they provide our students. I attended the Improve meeting that was held in Sioux Falls, and we are one of the few schools that is on the honor roll. So we weren't on the A honor roll, but we were on the B honor roll, and so we're doing a good job, and we're making, I've got some notes and some adjustments that we'll make for next year again, but I feel our CTE program is real strong, and the students are getting a lot of opportunities, especially with just adding different things and adding the building trades and then the opportunities at Huron. We've had 5 or 6 students take up those opportunities, so that's been good there too. And obviously Miss Kelsey, Miss Holfer, and Miss Doomsma, what they provide here at school too. In March, our region coordinator's coming, and she'll meet with me and Miss Stevens, and then the CTE teachers also, and we'll talk about what we provide for our students. Student council, I'm not sure how well this is going. I got one in my office, but we were gonna do a Valentine box decoration contest, and I had to extend it to Thursday. So we'll see if we get anybody interested in a little artsy. I do have one, so, but they thought, no. I am working on one, maybe tonight, in my spare time. But they're doing a little, I will provide Valentine's for them, so whoever does participate. So, Friday, teachers and admin will be going to the professional development and just submit. My goal with professional development in a manner like this is hopefully teachers can bring back at least one thing that they can apply into their classroom. And we'll discuss that after they get back on the following Teacher Friday and talk about what they're gonna try to implement. So, FFA week is coming up. February 23rd through the 26th, and the FFA crew has contacted me with a bunch of activities that they were planning, so that is good. And February 16th and 17th, the Lead for Life is coming in to work with our sixth grade PE. They've done this every year, and gives our kids a good perspective on working with people with disabilities. So a way for our kids to have exposure to that. We did plan a middle school showcase. This year we're gonna try it during the day. Last year we did it at night. This year, the previous year they said they did it during the day. They thought it went better and smoother during the day. So we're gonna try it back on during the day, and that is the Friday after Easter. So we're in school that day. So it would be a good opportunity for the kids to have a project that they can share that afternoon. So just short hour and a half is what we're planning, but it'll be good for the kids to have to present what they're gonna do, so. And last thing, ACT prep is in the works. I met with the students last week on setting personalized goals, and we're gonna use individual goals instead of a full class goal as to getting that student senior privilege right away when they start school in August. Otherwise, they have to wait the 4 weeks to get that. But we'll meet, and I'll meet individually with them and set those individualized goals, because not all students are gonna be able to necessarily score a 27 or whatever you want them to. So whatever we think is achievable, but yet pushing them to do the very best. So, done. Any questions?
Do you know if they're planning the FFA petting zoo again this year?
That was not brought up to me yet.
Okay.
It was bring your own, or drive your own tractor day or whatever, that was brought up, but the petting zoo was not on the list,
Okay.
at least not yet. That hasn't been presented to me, so I'm not sure. There's not really a place for it now.
Okay.
You know, last year they put it in the shop up there, and if you haven't been up to the shop, it'd be a good tour, because let me tell you, it's changed a bit.
Cool.
So, there's not really a lot of space, especially with them building those 2 sheds right now, that would not be available. But maybe in the spring, when the weather's a little bit nicer, we could do it outside.
Sounds
So,
good.
Okay. Superintendent, elementary principal.
I applied for a grant back in November. We ended up getting awarded $15,000, so that was really good for a greenhouse, for our farm to table program. Talking with Mr. Van Overshield about building it. They need a spring project, so I think that would be like the perfect thing for them to do. So we'll get rolling on that here. About halfway through accreditation. We got some things that we gotta work on, and that is at the end of March. We also had a SPED meeting today with me and Mr. Utek to go over some transition stuff with the state, and then we'll get the SPED review next year. The meeting went really good today. We had like nothing on there, so I feel pretty confident that we'll kind of breeze through that as well. So that's good. We're starting to get some numbers back on the gym floor. We had a $50,000 bid, and then today I think it was like $35,000. So we'll start looking at doing that. We'll be able to get that done this summer. So that's kind of just the big project that we have for this summer that we want to get done. It is needed, so we gotta get it done. The guy that came in last year to do the wax has said that he's pretty much done, like we gotta do something with it, so. And then I had a meeting about the new bleachers and concessions today. They had their 95% plans up, so next week, next Friday, they're gonna send all the paperwork to Pitts, and then Pitts is gonna get the bids going, so we should have that in the next few weeks too. And so just be prepared, we might have to have a special board meeting for that, depending on kind of when it falls to accept those bids, just kind of like we did in the last spring, so. Leslie already touched on the staff PD, and then, we had 2 staff members that trained out in Mitchell. It's called the UCARU training. It is a much safer and effective way to deal with aggressive students that hit and different things like that. They're pads, pretty much, is what they are. So they're able to like shield something that's happening, or we have aggressive behavior. So those two, Ms. Emika and Ms. Swartz will train everybody on those throughout the whole middle school and or elementary and middle school staff will get trained on that, so that way we're good to go. So they just stay up with the training, and then, so anybody new that comes in, they can just get trained on that. So, they said it was unbelievable, like, very good information, and so we'll see, but it should be good. And then, new update, we had a piece of tin fly off the roof on the basketball gym, so we are getting that fixed. And then making sure if there's anything else up there that needs to get screwed down or whatever, we're gonna take a look, because the last windstorm really did some damage up there, so, should be good.
Any questions on that? Moving on, core report.
Nothing really to report back on, it was a short agenda. Didn't talk about it this week, sorry.
Farm to table report.
So I just wanted to give everybody kind of an update on the progress and what we've done with it this year. We had 2 beef that went in August for the fall, and that went through December. There was some other beef used in there too, but we did go through 2 local beef this fall. And then there was 3 more beef that went in January, and that is all that we're planning on for this school year, and then we'll start prepping for the next school year. We utilized Mitchell Locker and Platt Locker with their inspected services. There was, for sure, one of the beef last fall was donated by Kent and Lori Youngman. And Burns Manufacturing also donated towards costs associated with the processing. For dairy, there was a case of butter donated by the Lazy J and Janet Youngman. We have another case coming any moment. And with the new guidelines that are coming out, it's really going to open up a lot of the restrictions that we currently were having to stay within. So I'm excited to kind of see what those guidelines are gonna look like and getting them implemented as far as opening up the healthy fats options, and then also less restriction in the protein area for sure. And then also the whole milk versus needing the reduced fat whole milk. So we've got, it's an exciting time and really good timing, I think, for everything along that lines. Fresh produce, there was the Forestburg watermelons donated by Scott and Ruth Eichstead, and then a lot of other local produce that just kind of come in a little bit in smaller quantities. So then our next steps will be the greenhouse and implementing the, Mrs. Hofer's classes to be able to get hands-on with the students in the greenhouse, and trying to see how we can do more growing here within the school. And so the 15,000 grant, and then the school will match, so we'll have about 30,000 total towards this project between the build and then the maintenance and upkeep of everything within that. So then hopefully the end of the month, we will go tour one of the colonies to kind of pick their brains as far as what they have already mastered, rather than recreating the wheel, and get advice from them on feeding large areas with what you make right here. That's all.
Thank you. Any committee reports? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Jeff, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ashley, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Approve the FY 25 audit. You guys should have all had that in your packet,
I did put it in.
but it was in an email. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the fiscal year 25 audit?
A motion?
Motion by Terry, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Herman, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Resignation.
Have a resignation from Lacey Zerfus, effective at the end of the school year.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve Lacey's resignation at the end of the school year? Thank her for her time at Wolsey Wessington.
Motion.
Motion by Ashley, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Terry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discussion on school logo.
All right. You guys can read through some of those. Those were from the community. So I think it's kind of split. So here's the deal. I don't want to recreate the wheel here. And I'm not trying to cause a gigantic ruckus with changing the logo. But the problem I have right now is we don't know which colors we are. Are we black and gold or are we black and yellow? We have about 3 different logos that are rolling around that people use. And we don't really have something set. So I think my biggest thing is again, we don't need to change or whatever. And again, I want the community and the students involved, but we need to come up with exactly what we are, color-wise and then logo-wise, so that everybody is using the same thing. And I think everybody would agree with that we want to all look the same and all have the same logos and the same colors with everything we do. From both, so this is the community one. So you like the current logo as it is, 60%, we had 187 people respond, by the way. 59.4% said they like it, 40% said they don't, and 59% said they'd be open to a cleaner version, and then same with the students. 77 said they would be open to a more cleaner version. So what I'm thinking is we get a meeting together with community members and students and figure out how we want to go about this, and see the ideas that we come up with, whether we still want to keep the same Warbird logo that we have and just update it to something cleaner. But again, I think it is important, and one of the things in there is having the students do it, which I do think is very, very important, because that's your sense of pride. That's, a lot of people on there, talk about the pride and tradition, and I'm all for that. I'm the first one to say anything about tradition. But again, I think it is time that, we find something that we update, or we just change the colors and keep the same logo and people have to use that logo. So we can't have, 3 different logos going around, like the blankets that we have is a different logo, the one that I have no idea where it came from. So, I think, we don't need to vote on anything, but I think just to start, I'd like to have just like community forum to talk about this and kind of get it out, because I kind of just sent it out willy-nilly, just kind of seeing how what people would think. But I think if we have something more concrete and I can explain, like we are using different logos and the color scheme, I think people would be more inept to actually, change and figure something out so that we're all on the same page. Because I think, again, that goes right into tradition. When I have some people saying it's black, because you said it's black and gold, right? Yeah. You changed it a while ago, and I have some people saying it's black and yellow. So, I don't know. Are there any thoughts?
From back in the exact transition time, it was chose black and yellow, or black and gold, because from what I remember, it was black and gold, not black and yellow. But I could remember wrong, but that was
Yeah?
what
I
I
think
remembered.
it's black and gold, it's ever since I came.
Okay, so like what I would like to do is choose a gold. Like, you know how they have the actual, like, it's like a name?
Yeah.
A number and a name, I wanna have that, so that way when you do shirts and you do jerseys and all the above, everybody has the same exact color. Like right now, you see like some gold, and then you see like some bright yellow. And so that's where I just want everybody on the same page there. So we're not, everybody's different.
So that it's official within the school, and then like community members, if they're choosing their own personal made attire, they can do whatever, but specifically for the school, we're choosing a specific, this is the color, this is the logo, right?
Yes,
Just to clarify, so that
Correct.
nobody's thinking, you can't, well, I wanna pick what, you can still pick what you wanna wear, but for our
Yeah, if you're
school
paying for it.
specifically,
Yep.
this is our specific color scheme.
correct.
Okay.
Because, we go through jerseys and different sports and stuff like that, so I wanna make sure it's all the same when we give them to these companies to make these, so it's not looking different, or we have whatever, so keep it the black and gold or whatever.
I also think our jerseys need to go back to black, not gray.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, so are we fine if I get a community forum, put something together and try and figure something, I'm sure there's gonna be people that show up, so,
Where did you get these, did we send out something?
yeah, on Facebook and our website.
Oh, I never saw it, that's why I'm asking, so I'm just wondering, like, how many others maybe didn't see it, or?
Yeah, and again, I can send it out again if
Well, I don't know
you
if
need
you
to.
do it again, I'm just saying, like, I think a second community outreach or something
Yeah,
would be good.
Okay.
'Cause-
I think it would also be better if you have examples.
Yeah.
Like, we have come up with these, what are your thoughts on that?
yeah,
And put them out there so that they're not just,
So Carolyn made a point here in this, that she, wants it to be, the second image to be something personal, not AI generated, and I agree with that. I agree with that. And somebody else mentioned in here the War Hawks, but we're not the War Hawks for anything other than what's consolidated.
it was more just of your light reading at night that I gave you those.
So we're still the warbirds.
Correct.
yeah, okay.
Good?
Any other questions on that? All right, discussion on football. I would like to know what our steps are to maybe try to consolidate or figure out what we're going to do for football. Our boys are very small, we have a very small number, and I'm afraid that we keep putting our kids that are small onto a varsity field, and it's not gonna end well. And I think that's why we have parents who don't want their kids out for football, is because, even as Cooper's a junior, and I was even concerned about him being on that field. So I would just like to know our steps on what can be done.
So I talked to the state, we'd have to do it ASAP. He said probably your only two that you'd be able to actually go with right now would be Miller or Huron, because it wouldn't change their class size. So if we went with somebody else, it would change their class size.
What about JVC?
I don't know.
Because they don't have a class. They only have 14, so it wouldn't up us any. They would up us 20% of 14.
Well, it's 21.
So we would go to, what, 31?
Yeah, which I think would still keep us in the same class. So, that's another option. He told me that they reached, or Austin reached out. I didn't know that, they reached out. So, that would be another option, because what do we got right now, like 15?
We have 16, not counting 8th graders.
I think our total is 27, I think. The new total.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about actual boys out for football.
Oh,
Yeah, 16,
16, 9 through 12?
that's not counting 8th graders.
not counting 8th graders. That is the 16 recurring from, if everybody who went out last year still goes out, that would be the 16.
Yeah. So, and here's my thing, we can look at JVC, and if they have kids interested, and if it doesn't,
Yes.
if that does not change our 80, like, if that doesn't change our class, I'm all for looking at that. But I don't wanna look at going to Huron or to Miller. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, we're just building a brand new facility, and if we go with one of those schools, they're gonna tell us that we have to play all the games there. So that makes no sense to me, just doing that. So I'm all for reaching out to JVC, and again, we just have not a lot of boys, like, we just don't have a lot of boys, so. Sorry. Yeah. Blame you, Jamie. So I'll just keep having boys, and we'll just make much more. So I think we'll just go from there. I think that's, I mean, Austin reached out already to JVC to see if that's something they'd be interested in. I mean, even if you get, 2, 3, 4 kids, I mean, that's a big help,
Yeah.
honestly, it's a huge help. And then you don't know, I mean, middle school wise, if they would come over on a bus with middle schoolers too, so you might get some more kids to do that. And until we get back to a place to where we have enough kids going out, that may be, that's a good option, yeah. So, other than that, I'm not in panic mode about it. I talked with the boys today, I talked to the 7th through, 6th through 11 today, boys, and I just kinda told them where we're at, and like, hey, we need you guys to go out for sports, like, we just don't have a lot of boys out right now. And, just as they're walking down the bleachers, you have kids like, hey, I'll go out. So I think it's just talking with them and, getting involved and recruiting them to go out, and just being that face to say, hey, like, you come out, try it for a week, if you don't like it, then okay. But just even trying it out, you never know if you like it or not, so.
So you and I have talked about this, but I haven't talked to everybody about this, like, my hesitation with football is, like, family history with seizures related to it, and so we talked about concussions and things like that. And there's a lot of things out there that I don't think most people know about that are really, helping with concussion reduction between the mouth guards and the Q collars. And I think some of that information coming out now for those like 5th through 8th grade students that are coming out would really help parents make that decision and start preparing and thinking about that, being okay with it.
Yeah.
So if there's anything that we could kind of push some of that educational pieces out about, I think it would be super helpful.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, even the way you tackle, like, you don't tackle with your head in front anymore, it's all behind and gator roll and, so it's the safest it's ever been.
But nobody that's
You
not in it right now knows that, because like, I know that if I talk to my state champion dad, he's not gonna know about any of that.
Yep.
And so like, but they are on social media and things like that, so if we can put out some of those clips on it, if anybody could do that, whether it's Austin or whatever, where we're starting to push out some of that info that helps kinda spread that.
Good.
And the Q collar wasn't a whole lot. I mean, Cooper had one this last year.
Yeah.
Because of his, so. Just little things like that would help.
Good. Perfect.
Okay,
You got anything?
No, I did happen to poke my nose around the James Valley situation. Like you said, I think if we did co-op, I think you would maybe get 2 or 3 high schoolers. I think where the biggest impact is gonna be in 3 years. There's a lot of those middle schoolers that they're playing, middle school football in Huron right now, but as soon as they get to 7th grade, that cuts off, and they are wrestling with, do I stay at James Valley, do I have to go to Huron in order to play football? So I think that's where it would help us. And again, the school board director there and the AD said that they were gonna talk to some people and kind of figure out how they feel as a community about it. So I guess we'll just wait and see what they say. The concussion stuff, yeah, I think it would be good to get some things out. I think there's been a very big scare campaign towards football over the past couple of years of it's such this violent sport and it's so dangerous. And I think there just needs to be a little bit more clarification. I think if you need any proof, when we go out on the football field on Friday nights, look at our heads versus other people's. We invest heavily into the best possible helmets for these boys, more than any other school we play. We will have better equipment than every school in 9B. And so we do take it very serious. We're not just throwing them out there and letting them bang their heads together and giving them crappy stuff to use. So it's very important to us. And I just think if we do get parents to understand that a little bit more, I think they would feel more comfortable letting their kids go out. Because it is really important to us. We understand.
And that's my point exactly, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that those pieces. So let's talk about it, get it out there.
I just think it's also, you know, we talk about nostalgia and we talk about this, like, football is that. So we just need to be serious about it, right? And how we make sure this program stays alive, because once it's gone, we already have the low numbers, like getting them back and starting fresh is, that's even harder, so.
Good, thanks.
Thank you. All right, 9.5 prom co-advisor, Mackenzie Hookhalter has taken that, correct?
Yes.
So the position pays $765. She will be joining Lacey. Breakfast this year. So a motion to approve Mackenzie Hookhalter as the prom co-advisor.
Motion.
Motion by Jamie, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ashley, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. I will abstain. Motion carried. All right, at this point, we'll go into executive session, South Dakota Codified Law 1-25-2, Section 1 Personnel at 6:01. Do I have a motion? Motion by Ashley, do I have a second? Second by Jamie. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Very good.
Okay, we'll come out of executive session at 6:37. At this time, do I have a motion to approve administration contracts pending negotiations?
Motion.
Motion by Jamie, do I have a second? Ms. Herman?
Mason.
Mason? All those, oh boy. I don't know what to say. What? Okay, motion approved, it's fine.
Everybody say
Yeah. I don't know, I just drew a blank. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Holy
Motion
cow.
carried.
Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I second.
Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.